Welcome to Black Angus Reviews. I'm Black Angus, and today we'll be discussing The Predator. Oh, no, not that one. No, not that one either. No, not that. Yeah, that Predator. Directed by Shane Black. The Predator is the fourth installment of the Predator series, following an elite American sniper who makes contact with an alien hunter recently crashed on Earth while it itself is being hunted by a super predator. Before the sniper is sequestered, he ships crash site evidence to his P.O. box, which due to unpaid fees, ends up with his son, and the plot unfolds from there. Please note going forward, there will be spoilers from here on out, and a detailed inquiry into the movie. Now, being a fan of the Predator series, I'd like to make a few points. Out of the four films, Predator 2 is my favorite, an all but forgotten gem that adds the most to the Predator lore.
He's on safari. Lions. Tigers. The bears. Oh my.
Predator 2. He's in town with a few days to kill this Thanksgiving.
And secondly, I'd put The Predator at the bottom of this list from best to worst Predator movies, ranked as they've been released. It was watchable and had a fair amount of off-color humor a military man can appreciate in these politically correct times, but largely, the ambition this film could allow gets derailed into the wrong direction with each new development. At the beginning, we start at full blast with the spacecraft chase sequence, one ship gunning at the other. The lead ship uses a wormhole to come to Earth and quickly evade. A pretty cool idea to expand Predator lore, but it takes the film more than 30 minutes before we learn who was giving chase or what for. Also, by discovery of Olivia Munn's oft expositionary scientist character, the lead Predator, for a time captive, has bits of the human genome in his blood. The pursuer of the lead Predator is a super hybrid Predator, injected by the elites of the homeworld with the best goodies of each type of prey they, prey upon. Towards the end, this threat is resolved by showing us that the lead Predator is bringing us a weapon to combat the other Predators, as they are, I guess, starting to hunt more often as they predict will exhaust our planet and thus ourselves. This was a missed opportunity in story writing, as they could have built on the interpersonal dealings of the Predators. Given that what we've seen before, Predators are prideful hunters who cherish worthy trophies, tribalistic in that they apparently garner personal value and worth from a valiant foe. If the lead Predator was here to give us a gift to prevent a perversion of the honorable hunt, why is he not only first seen killing us after crash landing, but taking the time to string up his kills? Why has the Predator Elite created a super hybrid class? Is this to build on the two distinct classes of normal and big jaw predators from the film Predators? I don't know. All we get is a quick recap of the super hybrid injection by other predators for no reason. Another fail I've noticed about this superclass can be contrasted with the creation of Savage Opress in the Clone Wars, where his purpose is clearly defined. Predators to be apparently always pushing the scientific boundaries by experimenting on themselves, it seems a waste to make a hitman with the testosterone level of a bull shark, but whatever, this film thinks it's a comedy. Another idiotic move by the film is with the sniper's son, who we'll call Baby McKenna. We learn early on that he has autism or Asperger's. Bullies pick on him and knock over chess pieces. The film expects you to assume he's Rain Man because he can remember where chess pieces in play on 4 different boards go. They think that spatial memory will grant acceptance of this quirky kid's overall intelligence. Once McKenna is home from school, he gets his dad's evidence where he commences to play with a helmet and gauntlet, and for some reason, even though we learn billions were spent on linguistics trying to crack the Predator language, billions and billions, this kid unlocks everything and essentially lights a beacon for both Predators to pinpoint. To further push the suspension of disbelief, the evolutionary biologist, Munn, concludes that it's not the sniper but Baby McKenna that the super predator wants to better evolve the species. I'm sorry, but autism is not an evolutionary breakthrough for us, but a deficient mutation that widespread could hinder us. Autism is a developmental disorder characterized by troubles with social interaction and communication, and by restricted and repetitive behavior. Us being primates, these skills are key for development and survival. Autism severely undercuts these essential skills or voids them altogether. Just for one specific biological comparison, take gorillas. Juan Carlos Gomez of St. Andrews University of Britain and a student with him started to investigate an odd realization that a few gorillas had white eyes like humans do, called the sclera. For humans, one idea is that the whiteness of our eyes is important for our social world. This is why it was selected to become a robust trait common to all humans. The theory, called the cooperative eye hypothesis, proposes that the advantage of having a white sclera helps us to follow the gaze of others more easily. White is a more conspicuous color than black, so when we fix our gaze to something, our friends can easily do so too. As we evolved, this helped us develop an almost instant understanding of each other's intentions without speaking a word. Now think back to an autistic child. Even if they're Rain Man smart, they generally cannot sustain an independent life. Yet this movie thinks it's deep by offering this horrible ailment increasingly diagnosed in the developing world as some sort of evolutionary advantage for the future. Fiction or not, this could potentially mislead people's scientific perception of a growing intellectual and social disorder. Now, to go back to the Predator superweapon mentioned earlier, aka the Predator Killer, it's presented in a person-sized container, comparable to a coffin. Being called the Predator Killer, you could easily link it to the other movies by having either Arnold, Danny Glover, or Adrian Brody in this container, as they've all killed predators, Arnold's being a technicality. But no, instead it's a bowcaster gauntlet that morphs to your body like Iron Man nanotech. End movie. Sure, you get a sequel setup, but you airball the alley-oop to yourself, Fox. Epic fail.
You blew it!
Another discrepancy I found was the hunting dogs the Super Predator has. They are small, car-sized bulldog things with predator dreads. If you watch Predators, their dogs look nothing alike. Are they some new hybrid? Are they sub-predator amalgamations? Again, this film would have been so much better if it was from the point of view of the predators. The idea of a rogue predator is interesting and could have built on species dynamics, like the outcast predator in Predators. To add to that, this film has the same problem of Predators, to quickly dispatch one predator for another before new lore is established. As in this film's promotions, it seemed the lead predator would team up with us to face a common enemy, the Super Predator. And if you assume this hybrid or his mission is an affront to the honor system of the hunt, why was he attacking the group who had his gear? Now, I won't completely crap on this movie, as there are a few things to enjoy. Again, the military humor worked for me and seemed natural for the culture, myself being a veteran. Keegan-Michael Key really stood out, and the camaraderie he built with Thomas Jane was believable to me. While the plot and exposition wasn't insulting my intelligence like Jurassic World, in the already established film canon of Predator, this film drops the ball. It does rely on you to not ask questions, and assumes the largely misplaced comedy will distract you. All the actors did a fine job, with Olivia Munn being the best performed in my opinion, although I don't understand why she had proficiency with multiple weapons. At least Annihilation lets you know Natalie Portman's character is a former soldier, to contrast this with good writing. Again, I give this film a 5.5. It's okay, and if you're a Predator fan, it's worth seeing the potential for lore expansion. But seriously, curb your expectations. If you saw the trailers, the first two were lackluster, with the third seemingly allowing us to view the real film for what it is. An interesting point I saw Jeremy John's proposition is that this film is hurt by what Marvel has done to the entertainment and film landscape. Let's discuss this and more in the comments below. Now, before I leave, I'd like to address an issue in Hollywood that this film sheds light on. As most know by now, James Gunn was let go from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, as old tweets concerning rape and pedophilia jokes were uncovered to include a picture film at a pedophile-themed party dressed as a priest. Also, Ethan Van Sciver reported on a past blog of Gunn's talking about an obsession with putting his midget girlfriend in small, confining spaces, and beating her if she failed to perform, with a photo of her with a black eye to suggest he gave it to her himself. Olivia Munn had one scene with Wilder Stiegel in The Predator, who was a friend of Shane Black. Munn learned he was a convicted sex offender who had solicited sexually graphic emails to a then 14-year-old relative. The former Jane Doe has now stepped forward as Paige Carnes, now 24, reclaiming her identity. Munn learned of Stiegel's past and reported it to 20th Century Fox. Apparently, Fox took issue with Munn and wanted her to stay quiet, anger that she informed her co-stars. She also reported feeling iced out by her co-stars. Fox Studios has yet to comment. Links will be provided below. Now, with the Me Too movement going after innocents and guilty like Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and Chris Hardwick for allegations, and ignoring one of their leaders' abuse in the events of Asia Argento being uncovered, and the mainstream media seemingly coming to the aid of the Pope amidst knowledge of the Pennsylvania grand jury proceedings and Cardinal McCarrick, why is no one besides Ellen pushing the story of Olivia Munn being iced out in her attempts to do the right thing? Let's discuss further below. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out my other videos and hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the Black Angus Reviews Facebook page where I cover things concerning film, philosophy, and the NFL.